Hey everyone, what's up? It's time for a review of the fourth studio album by art rock band Algiers. This album is titled Shook, and it is a continuation in a trilogy of very political records by this band. Not to say that their 2015 debut was the feel-good album of the year or anything like that. But the past three releases, starting with 2017's Underside of Power, then going to 2020's There Is No Year, and now this album, Shook, 3 years later, we've heard the band definitely channeling a more aggressive attitude. My first exposure to this band was when Spotify recommended me the single There Is No Year from that same album, and I loved that song and I enjoyed a good chunk of the record. This album here is probably their most collaborative to date, as there is an array of guest artists featured here. Everyone from rappers to spoken word poets to some indie rock lead singers of different bands here. It's a very eclectic mix of guests, but this album works well, even though I feel like some of the narrative impact gets lost in the interlude tracks here. I think the smartest thing I did with Shook was I didn't hear any of the lead singles. I didn't hear any of the tracks they released before the album was officially out. I didn't hear anything in advance, and I took it all in on my first listen. And I can honestly say that this record can be kind of jarring when you first listen to it. It's one that you really have to hone in on. Read along with the lyrics, throw a music visualizer on, something to take your mind off of anything that could be distracting you, and just focus on this album as a whole, and you'll probably start to enjoy it more. We start off really strong on this record. I feel like the first quarter and the second half of this record are really, really good. There's some hang-ups along the way, and I'll mention those. But we start out here with the track Everybody Shatter featuring the MC Big Rube. It's a very funky and fun hip-hop banger of a track that's just so energetic, just a blast of energy all around. It's very fun to sing and bop along with. And then we transition from that into Irreversible Damage, which features Zach De La Rosa. This is one that is very all over the place for me. There's kind of these almost Amber Alert sounding synths that go through some verses that kind of get grated into your ear, but other times it really picks up. I love the way the band just pours so much into this song. I think all through this record, lead singer Franklin James Fisher has great chemistry with the guests featured. 73% rips, just totally rips with angst and anger against racism and bigotry. I really love the censored swearing on this song. Like, he'll say something, it'll be beep in between. It's really funny, and it just makes me smile every time I hear it. And this track, Bite Back, is just the perfect slow burn. And speaking of perfect slow burns, we move into what is probably my favorite record on this album, Green Iris. I love the deep bass that runs through this thing, creating a sense of anxiety while the outro on this song kicks total ass. The beat drops. As the beat drops, I love this song, probably one of my favorite, along with the track Momentary, which is a closing track and features the lead singer of his own indie rock band, Lee Baines. I actually like his spoken word part here. I know I said I wasn't a fan of a lot of the spoken word pieces, but I like Lee's here. And they use this just awesome choir that adds a whole dimension to this song. I really love just the feeling you get hearing this. It's really an auditory experience. I also really love the track I Can't Stand It. It has a nice little bit of a groovy backing vocals, a nice trap beat to it. Franklin's voice here totally rips. It's just so nice to listen to. And it features the lead singer of one of my favorite bands, Samuel T. Herring of Future Island. And he knocks it out of the damn park here. He smashes this feature. He provides the perfect spark to Fisher's ticking time bomb of a performance here. There are a couple tracks, however, that I feel like kind of inhibit the album in a bad way. The track Something Wrong is really off-putting to me. It feels like it's being so avant-garde and weird just for the hell of it. There's just, he's kind of like, oh, this is our artsy experience here. I also am not a fan of a lot of the interludes, like comment number 2. They kind of distract from the record, even though they might have good messages. They don't really complement the songs that come either directly before or directly after them. And the song A Good Man, while it does have some nice driving rock guitars, it almost seems like it's trying too hard to be this really political punk song. It ends up just feeling like it's a parody of itself in the end. And I do wish the drummer Matt Tong here had more of his just excellent live drumming. I've known of Matt Tong. He was in the band Block Party, who made one of my favorite albums, Silent Alarm. He's a great drummer, and it would have been nice to see him have an actual kit here, as a lot of it is trap beats and some drum machines. But the beats do sound pretty good here. The production overall is just immense. Whoever produced this album, you did a great job here. This record feels like a very natural progression of Algiers' sound, going into more of a hip-hop direction, which is something I always thought that they would do. They kind of have that, soulful hip-hop vibe to them anyway. While I don't find it as jaw-dropping or compelling as their earlier output, I think it's definitely an important milestone for the band. So let me know what you guys think of this record here, Shook by Algiers. Comment below your thoughts. Personally, I'm giving this record a 4 out of 5. I think it's very deserved. Let me know what you guys think again. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. On my channel, I have some other reviews, like the review of the new Gorillaz album. I'll have some more reviews coming soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.